What's good, everyone? Welcome once again to the Discipleship Hoops podcast. I'm your host, Jimmy. Thank you all again. Man, it's been a ride since I've last came before you at the end of season 2, and just trying to get season 3 on the way. It's been a ride. It's been a great ride, though. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of changes, just a lot of stuff going on in between season 2 and season 3. And we're going to get into all that. Nonetheless, welcome back to the Discipleship Hoops podcast, season 3, episode 1. And man, just saying, like, it means something to me. Like, being able to say that I've been 2 seasons in and I'm kicking off season 3 is really means something to me. I mean, when I started this podcast, I knew I wanted to talk about basketball, right? I knew that was going to be the platform, basketball. I knew I wanted to sit down with coaches and trainers and parents and athletes. Like, I knew I wanted to talk to people who had something meaningful to say. But somewhere along the way, I realized that what this podcast was actually becoming was building something bigger than basketball conversations. If you go back to season 1 talk, we laid the foundation. It was all about laying the foundation in season 1, and then season 2 challenged us as coaches and parents to go deeper. Because, I mean, I wear a very unique hat in that not only am I coaching, not only am I training, but I'm also a parent of a player. So season 2 was meant to challenge us to go deeper. And now as we begin season 3, I believe it's time to become even more intentional about why this platform exists. Because basketball is changing, or basketball has changed, actually. Like, youth sports has changed. My kids are changing. Like, it's not, one of those back in my day story when I was 14 years old. I used to cut the grass with cut 3 acres, 5 acres of grass with a push lawnmower, and then run 2 miles to the park and then play basketball, right? Like, this is not, those times are no longer among us. So our kids are changing. The pressures, right? The pressures surrounding our kids are even changing. Just how social media has evolved into what it has evolved to. The thing about it, though, is that some things cannot change, right? Discipline still matters. Character still matters. Hard work still matters. Your family and support system still matters. Faith still matters. In my opinion, faith still matters, and it still plays a very high and important role. Being coachable still matters. Like, serving other people still matters. And most importantly, becoming a good man or woman will always matter more than becoming a good basketball player. That's what season 3 is going to be about. The game is the platform. Discipleship is the mission. Welcome to season 3. Let's get into it.
Hoops Podcast Season 3. Some chase bright spotlights, some chase big contracts, some chase their name in lights. But basketball was never meant to be the finish line. It was meant to be the doorway, a doorway to lead, to serve, to grow, and to become the person God designed you to be. Because long after the crowd clears out, who you become will matter far more than any final score. Basketball sharpens discipline. It exposes character. It forges resilience. And when Christ is at the center, the game shines brighter than competition. It shines as a classroom, a ministry, a mission field. Welcome to the Discipleship Hoops Podcast, where the court is the platform and discipleship is the mission. Welcome to season 3.
All right, so just going back and reflecting on what the first two seasons have taught me. I always have to bring this up because my mentor RB, shout out to RB, he's no longer with us, but he was my mentor. He's my trainer. He was my confidant. He was my like Charlie Brown. He was my blanket. Right, he was my safety blanket when I was playing in Germany. And one thing he would always say is, it's always what you learn after you know it all that count. So what the first two seasons, and you have to be a lifelong learner. I don't know, I'm digressing a little bit, but you must continue to learn and grow and get better. The moment that you think that you have it all figured out and that you know it all, that is the moment where you will fail. All right, so you have to keep growing. You have to be a lifelong learner. But what the first two seasons have taught me, when I think about the first two seasons, I don't immediately think about microphones or cameras or views or downloads or social media, because that's never really been my thing to go viral, right? And maybe if I focus on that more, I will go viral. But that's just never really been my thing. It's just about the information, right? I think it's about the conversations. I've sat across from coaches who have spent years pouring into young people. We've talked about culture. We talked about winning. We talked about losing. We talked about parents. We talked about AAU basketball, which is it's a whole nother. Anyway, we've also talked about recruiting. Like, we talked about mental toughness. We talked about fatherhood, and we talked about family. We talked about ministry. Like, we've talked about a lot. Like, we've even talked about what happens when basketball ends. But the one thing that keeps coming back to me, the people who have made the greatest impact through basketball aren't necessarily the people with the greatest basketball resume. In fact, what they are, they're the people who understand what the game is for. And what the game is for, basketball is a tool. Like, basketball can teach. I mean, it can connect. It can open doors. Like, basketball can introduce you to people you never would have met any other way. Basketball can take you to places you never imagined going. You know, it's like, and I jokingly say this, is like, there are states that I've never been to. Like, I've never been to New York. Like, I've never been to Miami. Like, I've never been to all those like destinations. Not just Miami, but I've never been to anywhere in Florida. New Jersey, right? Like, I've never been, let's see where else, like California. I mean, I went there when I was 8. We lived there for 2 years, but that was when I was like 8. But outside of that, I've never visited and spent time in California. But what basketball has done for me over the course of my life is taking me to Spain. It's taking me to Amsterdam. It's taking me to Switzerland. It's taking me, of course, to Germany, to Japan. Like, it's taking me to like so many different countries. Because of the game of basketball, I've been able to visit Paris, like, more countries than I have states. And like, think about that. Like, a country boy like me from Terry, Mississippi, who grew up not even playing basketball. Like, soccer was my life. That was my thing. But once I started playing the game of basketball, like, it has taken me to more countries than I've been to states. But the thing about it, though, just like me, at some point, everyone has to put the basketball down. And when that day comes, the question becomes, what did the game leave inside of you? And that's where we're going with season 3, because a new season requires growth. And there's something beautiful about a new season, because everyone starts at zero. Like, it's like when school is starting right now. And I've always thought that, like, you begin the school year with an A, with 100 average. That's how you start the school year. And it's like, you have to do something or not do something to make that 100 average, that A, go away. And that's like, everyone starts at zero, right? That's like, whether it's in school, whether it's a new season, and then like when you compare that to the scoreboard in a game, right? When a game starts, what is it? 0-0. All right, so it's like there's not a winner, right? There's not a loser. There's nothing. It's 0-0. And so last year's record doesn't win this year's games, and like that is so crucial. When you break that down and pull back the layers of it, it's like we always want to be like, well, last year we made it this far, or last year we lost these many games. When in the true context of this season, last year really doesn't have doesn't hold any bearing to it. Because why is that? Because from a coach, it may be a new coach, right? And like me, for example, going to Silver Bay, like last year's team, they went to the championship game, the 2A. You know how that goes. Those that when it comes to district 2A, 3, 5, 6, whatever the case may be, I still have not grasped what all that means. But last year's Silver Bay Academy team made it to the championship game and lost in the championship game. So they were runner-ups. And so there are going to be some who was a part of last year's game that expect that same thing to happen, but win it. Right? And that's just how it goes, right? It's just the nature of coaching. It's the nature of people. It's just how it goes. But the reality of it is, last year's team is not this year's team. It's not, like, because it's a different coach. Number one, it's a different scheme. It's a different concept. It's different players. Like it's everything is different. So last year's record doesn't win this year's games. Last year's championship, for those that won championship last year, doesn't win this year's championship. Last year's mistakes don't have to become this year's mistakes. But there's another side to a new season. And that is that you can't enter a new season expecting different results while carrying the same habits. And that absolutely applies to basketball. And it applies to life as well. Maybe last season you weren't disciplined. New season, change it. Maybe you weren't coachable. New season, change it. Maybe you blame everybody else when things didn't go your way. New season, change it. Maybe you talked about wanting to play college basketball, but your daily habits didn't match your dreams. Guess what? It's the new season. So you know what you can do? You can change it. I mean, maybe you're a parent and you spent too much time worrying about playing time, rankings, team exposure. New season, guess what? Change your perspective. Maybe you're a coach and you became so consumed with winning that you forgot you're coaching somebody's son or daughter. It's a new season. Remember your calling. A new season isn't powerful simply because the calendar changed. The reason why a new season is so powerful, because you have to change. And I want to let that breathe for a minute. A new season becomes powerful when you change. My wife and I, one thing we always talk about is moving the couch. And how, like, just because it's that old, well, it's the way we've always done it. Well, ask yourself, does that mean that it's been the right way all the time? And when something is not right, when something is not, like, it doesn't feel right, doesn't seem right, doesn't fit right, guess what? Move the couch. You don't like the couch over in the corner? Move it to the other wall. Like, it's something that is so simple that we complicate so much. And just move the couch. And that's, like, my wife and I, like, that's our motto. When we don't like something and we don't deem something to be whatever, we just change it. Like, we allow the results to be the results in that change, right? So move the couch. This is your season to move the couch. All right, so let's talk about youth sports right quick. All right, let's jump into it. As a trainer, like, my focus and my training is that I focus on 5th through 8th grade, because I just, like, believe like now with youth sports, those are like the critical foundation years, that 5th through 8th grade area. Again, here we go. Back in my day story, we rode bikes, right? We jump rope, right? We ran, we went outside. We went outside back in my day. And kids don't really have, they don't take advantage of the opportunity to go outside, to ride bikes. And, some could be like, the world has changed when it comes to fear of being outside. And so, that may contribute to it. But again, it's like that's where we learn hand-eye coordination, was going outside. That's where we learn how to pick ourselves up when things didn't go right, and either get better or leave it, because we went outside and we competed with other people. And so youth sports, in my opinion, like, this is just my opinion, this is the opinion of the Discipleship Hoops podcast. All right, not any of our sponsors. This is just me. Is that because I love youth sports, right? And I believe in competitive basketball. I honestly believe in AAU basketball. And I know those that listen to season 2, you be like, oh no, you capping, as the young people say. Now, but I do believe in AAU basketball when it's used as a tool for development and not a tool for payment. I believe in the tournaments. I believe in the exposure, right? I believe in the scholarships, right? I believe in chasing big dreams, because again, like, I have a daughter that went to college on basketball scholarship and played overseas. I have a son that right now is in college on a basketball scholarship, right? And hoping that he'll get that next deal to go to the next level, right? We have a younger son that's a sophomore that also, like, he's living that exposure, scholarships, chasing big dreams idea. So I'm not anti AAU basketball. It's just that those things have to stay in their proper place. Because what we can't do is allow the pursuit of basketball success to become more important than the development of the child. And I could drop the mic and stop the podcast right there, because we cannot allow the pursuit of basketball success to become more important than the development of the child. We've got young athletes worried about rankings before they've mastered fundamentals. Like, that is so, like, that is, oh man. And I'm not gonna go there where I'm calling out an organization, because I got in trouble for doing that before. Although that organization that I got in trouble for doing that before, they don't have nobody to call and tattletale on me anymore. They can't call and tell on me that I talked about their program, because their program is clearly more worried about making money than developing athletes. Anyway, I'll press on. But who you gonna call now? So we got young athletes worried about rankings before they've mastered fundamentals. Like, we've got kids worried about offers before they've learned consistency. It's like it's like if you are, let's say, 10th grade, for example, right? Let's say 10th grade. If you are 10th grade and you cannot make a left-handed layup, what makes you think that there is a college coach out there that is scouting that's going to say, hey, you know what? He can go, or she can go 3 for 20 from threes. I can work with that. I'm not going to even worry about not being able to make a left-handed wide open layup. Like, what world do we live in when we think that, like, the 3-point shot, being able to go 3 for 20 from 3, is the thing that's going to get our kids at the next level? Like, when do we get there? When do we go there? Like, when do we go to parents searching for exposure while coaches are begging players to defend, to communicate, to rebound, to be on time, to accept coaching? The thing that I asked my son is that, how do you make a difference? Like, why would a coach play you? And of course, the answer is because I'm a shooter. Okay, well, what about when your shot not falling? How do you impact the game? And there's two examples that I always go back to. That's Patrick Beverly, and that's Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman, over the course of his career, probably averaged 4 points a game. But he won championships with the Pistons. He won championships with the Bulls. And you have to fact check me. I don't know if he was on the Spurs team that won a championship. I'm not really sure, but I do know for a fact he won championships with the Bulls 3, and then he won championships also with the Detroit Pistons. And he averaged like around 4 points a game because he was willing to do what no other player on that team was willing to do, and that's to sacrifice his body to get the team one more possession. So what are you doing to impact the game? What are your kids doing to impact the game when their shot's not falling? Something is very backwards when it comes to youth sports. Development has come before exposure. It has to come before exposure, because we spend all this money going to, here I go with my AAU tangent, and it's because I see parents spending $2,000, $3,000 over the course of a summer to send their kids to all these AAU basketball tournaments, and the kid is the exact same player. They can't make a left-handed layup when they left their high school team in February, and when they ended their AAU season in July. They're the exact same player. So now it's like, well, yeah, but I play AAU all summer, so I'm good. I'm ready. I'm ready to take my game to the next level. Yeah, son, but your AAU coach failed you because you still can't make a layup. You still can't make a layup, left-handed layup. And you're not ready for the next level. Like, I just wish coaches would just be like brutally honest with kids and parents for sure these days, and just tell them like, no, that's not like, but what AAU, not all, so I'm not finna go there where I'm talking about all AAU coaches, because there are some programs that are really good, right? There's a program right now in Mississippi that is really, really, really good, and kids are really getting true exposure on the Puma circuit. But it's like coaches sell these parents with, yeah, we're gonna play tournaments in Monroe, Louisiana, and there's going to be college coaches there. But what they don't tell you is that the college coaches are on court 24. Your son or daughter playing on court 1. So the only time the college coach will ever see them is as they walk by hitting the court 24. Like, they're not sitting there watching your child because your coach has promised you that there's going to be college coaches there watching. And so it's like, again, we've got parents searching for so much exposure, and coaches are out here begging players when they get back to their real high school team to defend, to communicate, to rebound, to be on time, and accept coaching. Like, it's that simple. Development has to come before exposure. Character has to come before recognition. Preparation has to come before opportunity. Because exposure doesn't help much when you're exposed before you're prepared. Again, Jim. Like, mic drop moment. Exposure doesn't help much when you are exposed before you are prepared. Because in basketball, you can't hide. Like, I can take a kid on the football field, I can put them on special teams, and that parent can jump up and down because their kid is running down the field on special teams, on kickoff return. But when it comes to basketball, it's 5-on-5. And if your child don't know what they're doing, if your child is lost, if your child is not ready, it's open for everyone to see that they will get exposed. And so, parents, your child's basketball journey is going to have adversity. They're going to sit sometimes. Like, every player can't play. They're going to struggle. They're going to miss shots. Somebody else might start. They might get cut. They might not even make the team everybody thought they should make. Don't remove every obstacle, though. Like, that's the key. Don't remove every obstacle. Like, help them learn how to walk through it. And athletes understand something. Like, athletes out there, players out there, like, your parents cannot want this more than you. I see that so much, so where, like, I'm visiting more with the parent about what their child can do and will do and able to do, and the kid, like, I don't even like basketball. I don't even want to be here. Like, parents, your coach cannot want this more than you do. Again, athletes, like, your trainer cannot want this more than you do. I mean, I've trained kids and, like, saw them just going through the motion and just, like, and literally had to just stop and sit down with them and talk about, hey, do you even enjoy this? Like, why are you doing this? And then we had to just walk through that, and, you know, discovered that because their parents think that they're gonna sign an NBA 10-day contract at age 13 is pushing them to do this, and they really don't even. They just want to, like, they just want to chill. They don't even want to play. They don't even want to work. They don't even want to, like, do all that. And the parent is pushing them. But at some point, if you really want to go to the next level as a player, you have to take ownership of your development. All right, and that's where it comes. That's when honoring the game comes into key, because one of the things I've talked about before is honoring the game. Like, I believe that deeply. Honor basketball, and basketball has a way of honoring you back. That doesn't mean everybody gets a scholarship. Doesn't mean everybody becomes a professional. Doesn't mean everybody wins a championship. The game may honor you differently. Maybe basketball pays for your education. You know, maybe it introduces you to your best friend, you know, or your spouse. Like, maybe it teaches you discipline that later makes you successful in business. Maybe you become a coach, you know, like me. Maybe you become a teacher. Maybe basketball takes you to another country, right? Exactly, just like I just alluded to. Maybe basketball gives you an opportunity to mentor a kid who desperately needs somebody. Maybe 20 years from now, somebody calls you and says, Coach, something you told me when I was 14 changed my life. And I've recently had that happen. A player me and my brother was working with in Germany in 2003. Yep, 2003, 2004. He reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I appreciate what you all did for me back then." So this, I mean, it's a very true statement. You know, that's basketball, right? And that's basketball honoring you back. So don't just ask, what can I get from this game? Ask, what is this game developing inside of me? Oh man, that's so good. John Wooden says that basketball doesn't build character, it reveals it. So what is this game developing inside of me? Because that's a completely different mindset. All right, so season 3, right? What's season 3 all about? So what can you expect from season 3? More conversations, all right? Deeper conversations. All right, we're going to sit down with coaches, college coaches especially. It's like that's I really want to get into college coaches and get into their mindsets. You know, along with that, high school coaches. I want to talk to trainers, missionaries. Right? I want to get into basketball missionaries, to parents. Right? I really want to hear the side of a parent that's sitting in the bleachers and what they see and think and believe to be true. Right, and also athletes and leaders, people who have lived the game from different perspectives. We're going to talk to recruiting. We're going to talk to mental performance. We're going to talk to youth sports culture. All right, we're going to talk coaching. We're going to talk family and faith. All right, we're going to talk about using basketball to serve people around the world. And I'm going to continue coming back here by myself sometimes too. But however, I mean, because they're just conversations that I believe that we need to have, like open and honest conversations that we need to have, transparent conversations, like snatch the band-aid off conversations that need to be have, and even when they're or especially when they are uncomfortable, right? Especially when they are uncomfortable. Truth be told, I'm not interested in telling everybody what they want to hear. I don't think that's what this platform. I know that this is not what the platform is built for me to be like cookie cutter, and for me to say everything that you want to hear and give you a warm and fuzzy feeling and stroke your ego and all those type of things. Like, no, this needs to be a platform to where it's uncomfortable conversations that you really don't want to hear. What I'm interested in is helping us think differently about what we're doing with these young people, because they're watching us all the time. They're watching us. They're listening to us. And what we do daily, we're teaching them something, whether we realize it or not. All right, so this season is going to be bigger than basketball. All right, so to begin season 3, all right, here's my challenge to the athletes. All right, all the players out there that listens to this. This is my challenge to you. Don't just become a better basketball player this season. I want you to become more disciplined. Like, whether that's at home, whether that's in school, whether that's in society, right? Become more disciplined. I want you to become more accountable. I want you to become a better teammate, right? There's always something better that you can do for a teammate. I want you to become more coachable. I want you to just like stop arguing and trying to make an excuse and trying to justify it, and just be like, you know what, coach, you're right, my bad, I'll fix it, right? Like, like that's the hardest thing for a coach. My bad, coach. My bad, coach. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, coach. I'm like, okay. After a certain point, like 3, I give my players 3. I give my players 3 my bad coaches. After that, now it's time to redirect your thoughts on why you play this game. All right, after 3 my bads. So yeah, become more coachable. All right, become stronger mentally. Like, my God, like, stop dropping your head and folding and quitting when something doesn't go your way. Become stronger mentally. Become somebody others can trust. And then to the parents, like, don't measure the season only by points, minutes, championships, rankings, or scholarship offers. Like, stop measuring the season by that. Pay attention to who your child is becoming. Again, pay attention to what youth sports and who is doing to your child and their development and who they're becoming. To my coaches out there, remember the responsibility to my coaches out there, remember the responsibilities that you have been given, you've been blessed with, that have been placed at your doorstep. Years from now, your players probably won't remember every play you drew up. Actually, they will not remember every play that you drew up. But what they will remember is how you treated them. And understand, especially when it comes to those players you have out there that they will need basketball far more important. How can I say this? Like, as a coach, we have to understand that there are players out there that will always need basketball more than basketball needs it. And we have to understand when that time is there. We have to understand that, man, do I cut this kid and what that does for this kid, even though this kid probably will never play for me, but how important is being a part of something is to this kid and their growth and their development. All right, remember that. Players will also remember like what you demanded from them, right? They'll remember how you believed in them, and they'll remember, most importantly, where your life matched the things you taught them. That's key right there. Like, the things that you taught them, how aligned is your life with those things? And then just simply for everyone out there listening, don't waste the season you've been given. Right? There's something you're supposed to learn. There's somebody you're supposed to impact. There's something inside of you that still needs to grow. And now that a new season is upon us, There's a new opportunity amongst us. Like there's a new chapter. There's another chance to do something meaningful with this game we love. And this is season 3 of the Discipleship Hoops podcast. All right, so we're going deeper. We're asking better questions. We're having more meaningful conversations, and we're going to keep reminding this generation that basketball can give you a lot. But who you become along the way matters most. The game is the platform. Discipleship is the mission. Welcome to season 3. Let's get it. Let's build. And that wraps up another episode of the Discipleship Hoops podcast. If today's conversation added value to you, do me a favor. Like it, subscribe to the channel, and share this episode with a coach, a parent, or athlete who needs to hear it. We're building something bigger than basketball here. We're building leaders. If you or your business would like to sponsor an upcoming episode and partner with us in impacting the next generation, visit our website at www.jimmielucas.com or send us a direct message. We love to connect. Until next time, keep raising the standard, keep leading with purpose, and remember, the game is the platform, leadership is the mission. Believe, build, ball.